Hey everybody, Dirty Dan here.
The roads are the dustiest, the winds are the gustiest, the gates are the rustiest, the pies are the crustiest, the songs the lustiest, the friends the trustiest, way back home. Back home. The trees are the sappiest, the days are the nappiest, the dogs are the yappiest, the kids are the scrappiest, the jokes the snappiest, the folks the happiest, way back home.
And welcome to our new filming a little bit for this small three-part series on fixing Bachmann pancake motor chassis and cleaning them up and restoring them to basically brand new condition. This is actually my basement. I haven't filmed down here in about 2 years since the Lionel O-gauge layout was torn down, and if anybody's interested to seeing that, go watch some of my older videos. Just if you go onto the YouTube page, you can hit a little filter that'll let you go to my oldest videos, and those older videos, I mean, they're pretty cringy, but they will give you information on my old Lionel layout. But without further ado, let's jump into it. So, what you're going to need for this restoration is a small, medium, and large flathead screwdrivers. I got these at Ace for pretty cheap. You can pick these up basically anywhere. Then you got a small Phillips head screwdriver, and a pair of tweezers will help. And that's about it, all you're going to need for the disassembly process. Now, unfortunately, this one, the front truck cover popped off already, but you'll notice there should be one here and here. Now, the real way to remove these is what you do is you stick your screwdriver right here behind the truck cover and you just pry up and it just pops right off just like that. And then you take it off and you'll set it down with your wheels. And then how to remove these is you just kind of twist and pop right off. Sometimes they'll pull right out, sometimes they don't. You'll get them out. Pop, pop, and they come right off. And I can see a big problem already. Look at that. That gear is split in half, and I believe the other half of it just fell onto the floor somewhere. We'll have to find that later. But for now, that's about how far you'll be into this. And then if you'd like to remove these gears, kind of the same process. What you do is just kind of pull them up, and they come right out. Be careful with these gears because they often crack and break. That is a very common problem. These gears, one of them is not going to be able to be salvaged, I don't think, because it's literally split in half. But it's a very common problem, so don't get worried if it breaks on you. And then all you do, here's the headlight, you slide that little yellow thing off, and then you got to push it back in through the hole to get it out. And then try not to break the wires while you're doing this, because then you won't have a headlight. You have to get a new one. This one kind of needs a new headlight anyways, so I'm not too worried about it. You may even need your screwdriver, push it through, and then there you go. There we go. Just push through. And then you just pull it, and it'll kind of unravel, and then you pull it through. Next thing we're going to do is remove the brush covers. Now all you do is you get your flat for Phillips head screwdriver, and just undo these two screws right here and here. And then be careful, you might want to hold the plate down to make sure that they don't pop up. But just remove these two screws. Make sure you don't lose them, these are very important. And then you kind of just pull these little tabs off. They should be good. And then they may fly off, but in most cases, if you set it like this, they will be fine. And the only thing that you're going to need to do to remove these is just get a screwdriver and then just gently kind of give it a little push and it comes right off. And then be careful right here. This is a very tedious step. You'll see this little spring. It is so very important you do not lose these springs. Get your tweezers and you want to reach in there and grab the little spring. And this is what's called a brush spring. And there you go. Do not lose the springs. keep track of them. That's why I laid out this paper towel to keep the parts organized so you can see them. And that's how you remove those. And then it's just the same process, and I'll speed this up. And the same process for the other one. Okay, and then the way you remove the brushes, this is a very easy step. Make sure you don't lose these screws too. You just kind of tip it on its side, and then you just kind of, and they most likely will fall out. If they don't, it's not a big deal. But oh, and one of them fell out. So let's try to get the other one. But don't force them out. You know, don't break anything. So this one's not going to come out. So we'll just have to take it out when we take the motor out, which is the next step. You will see, if it's stuck in there, don't worry about it. It shouldn't fall out. As long as you keep the thing over your table, it should be fine. If it falls out, it falls out. It should fall right onto your paper towel. But you see, there's a little screw right about here. And what you do is you want to unscrew that screw, and then that'll take off this little tiny plate. And that is what basically holds your motor in place. And then all you need to do is take the motor, and you'll see it'll start to kind of fall through. Get your large flathead screwdriver and pry right here, right on the other side of the motor, about right there. And then kind of pry there's a little thing that kind of holds it on. And then, oh, you may need to pry from the bottom to pry the actual frame apart. This can be a little tedious. Just take your time and just try not to break anything. And there you go. It popped right through. And then be very careful. Just give it a little. And then it should come right out. Easy, easy peasy. And then we'll just set our frame to the side for now. Most of our parts are disassembled already. But here's our motor. Our motor, this is very important. You need to keep track of all the parts. So the motor, what you need to do, you'll see there's a screw here and here. Now you want to remove those two screws. Now be careful that if you still have one of your brushes in, make sure you don't lose it. Like I said, it may not fall out. It may fall out, but that's fine. Just keep it in there if it's still in there. If it falls out, make sure you keep track of it and don't lose them. They're very important. Now what we do is get the two screws out and then set them off to the side. And then you should be able to split the case here. Now this is a very careful part. You need to split it right here. There's a little line you'll see. And just kind of stick your fingernail behind there. And that's an easy way to separate them without breaking two posts. The two posts that are inside the motor. Now, you want to go around the entire length of the motor to make sure that it's free. And then all you do there is just kind of pull a little bit apart, the two sides. Well, this one's still not wanting to split. I gotta give it a little bit more finesse here. It should come out. There we go. It's out. Now, just take your time with this step because you don't want to break any of these posts. These 1, 2, 3, 4. If you break them, it's gonna be a hassle to get it back together. And if they're already broken, you have to super glue them back on, which is a whole nother thing, which I'll cover in a different video. But your motor should look like this. Now, our brush is still in there, so we need to be careful. Hold it like this, so make sure you don't lose that brush. And then all you do is just pull these white gears right off here. And then, you just take them and you'll set them off to the side. And then you take this thing. Don't grab it by the windings. Do not. Grab it by this gear and then pull it right out. You might need to twist it a little bit and it comes right out. You set that off to the side. And then if you still have that brush in there, here's how you get them out. See this? You take your screwdriver and you push it out from the back side. So we're going to just push it out right here. Bloop. And there it comes right out. And put it in your little thing with the brushes. And these brushes and springs are in pretty good shape, so we'll be able to reuse those. And that's about it for the motor. The second thing is, here you go, you got your trucks, and you need to just pull this through. There's a little, hole here. Now just watch how you pull these through. Just pull these little things in here through one at a time. You know, you could also desolder them, but that's up to you. I personally think for a beginner, you'd want not to desolder those, just so you have less soldering work to do. And then sometimes you got to pull the headlight through. It may be a little bit of a hassle, so you got to just pull that right through, and that should make it a little easier to get these out. Pull that, and then boom, your wiring is through. And then these are good. Now, the only thing, I don't have my soldering iron, but if you really want to do a thorough restoration, what you need to do is all you need to do is just get your soldering iron and just unsolder these two wires right here and here. And then once you unsolder those, all your wiring will come out. But they're good for now. And then what you want to do is, here's your basic frame. We've got it down to the main frame. Now, if you have your weights are a little bit rusty, you're going to want to take them out. These ones are rusty, so let's take them out. Just get your Phillips head. There should be 2 Phillips head screws right here that all you need to do is just unscrew them. And be careful, there's a lot of weights. This thing's going to explode. And, you know, try not to break anything when you're trying to do this. So, and then boom, there you go. Your 2 screws are out. Now all you got to do is just kind of, weight should start to come out. Come on. Maybe just hit it a few times. That'll help them come out. Sometimes you got to give them a little bit of a wiggle. And this is kind of a tedious process, so. But all you got to do is just pull them off, and they should come off.
These ones are not being very forgiving right now, so I'm going to have to use a little bit of screwdriver action. Get these off. That's the first 2. It's the same process for all of these, though. And then there we go. Got them all. Get this last one. And then there should be these little ones that fall out after them. We should keep those all in order, though. And then there's still one left in there, so we're going to have to... And then boom, that came right out. Cool.
It's always nice when it works out that way. Now, last thing we need to take apart is the couplers. All you do is there's a flathead screw right here. All you do, just unscrew it, and the couplers should come right off, and make sure you don't lose these. These couplers are very valuable to you and, you know, your locomotive. So, once you're done, get those screws out, just set off the couplers off to the side, and that is your full disassembly. And that's about it for part 1. And I've got both of the couplers off now. That's about it for part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this first part. There'll be 2 more videos to come. Next part, we're going to clean all of these parts and make sure they're going to work when they go back in this locomotive. And then, in that episode, I'll show you how to fix these cracked gears, or broken gears, or completely falling apart gears. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.